Okay, so for this video, I'll be demonstrating how to create a user-defined class. So this is to supplement my two previous videos on creating your own classes. So let's say, for example, you want to create a class name, a person class with attributes last name, first name, middle name, birth date, address, height, and weight, but of course in lowercase letters. And then at the same time, you're going to create the getter method, setter methods, constructors, and maybe create a display and or get display string methods. So let's try to do this. So here's now in my NetBeans. I'm going to create a new project. So Java with and Java application, next. Let's say person class demo. So I'm going to create a person class demo. So I just remove that one and then finish. So this is now my program. Let me close my other source code here. So this is my main program, and I would like to create a person class inside this. So I'll just search for this in my navigator and then right click on the project name, new, and then Java class. So the name of the Java class I would like to create is person. And then we just click finish. So I have here now public class person. So the next thing I will be doing is to define my instance variables. Define or declare. My instance variables. So maybe I have here private string, last name, private string, first name, private string, middle name, private string, address, private string, birth date. So what are the fields? So the fields are birthday, address, height, and width. Private double height, private double weight. So let's say in kilos and in centimeters. So next now, let's add a private static variable count. So private static integer count. So will be so this is now a static instance variable. Now let's do our constructors. So in this program, I'll be, instead of doing it manually, I would like to demonstrate how to insert code using NetBeans. So just right click, then we click on insert code. So you notice here I have here now my constructor, getter, setter, and setter, etc. So I'll first click on constructors. So let's say for my first constructor, there will be no parameters, so I'll just click OK. So that's my first constructor. So right click again, insert code, constructor. So for the second one, I'll be using the last name, first name, middle name, for example, and then create. So you notice that I already have my code. So let's say I have these two constructors here. Now I would like to do the getter and setter methods. So again, I'll just right click, insert code, and then I have here my getter and setter. So let's say for address, birth date, count, first name, height, last name. Oh no, for count, yes, I just place it there and then wait. So let's say I'll just check everything, generate. So I have now my getter, setter for last name, get first name, set first name, get middle name, set middle name, get address, set address, get birth date, set birth date, get height, get weight, set weight. So get count, that's all right, but I would like to remove set count. I will not be using set count, only get count. So I would like, that is because I don't want to modify the value of count programmatically or by any user or by any program. So it should be, it's a read-only attribute. The next, in our demo, it says create the getter. So we are through with this, display and get display string. So let's create our display method. So let's say we display this using system.out. So that's the last name followed by comma, space, plus this dot first name, plus space. So let me just cut this here, plus this dot middle name followed by semicolon. So that will be my first line, the name of the person. System.out.println address plus this dot address system.out.println birth date plus this dot birth date, or I can also use get birth date if I want. System.out.println height in centimeters, for example. So weight in kilos. I wonder why. See, weight, height, W-E-I-G-H-T, W-E-I-G-H-T. Maybe that's correct. That's it. That maybe is my public void display, so it doesn't return anything, so it's void. Now what if I'm going to create public string get display str or str? So this time I'll be returning a value, but str is equal to name. Let's make this look better. Hopefully it will look better. here also, but here I'll just add, or I can also use get last name. I can use that also. That will give me the same value. This that get middle name. Then to go to the next line, I just insert \n. So that will be my first line. On my second, sorry. So on my second line, str. So I'm just accumulating, I'm just joining the strings. So I have here now address plus this dot get address plus \n str plus equals birth date height. So what I did here is to format height to have 2 decimal places. So height will be in centimeters. So again, \n at the end. Then do the same thing with my height or my weight rather, kilograms. So this that get weight. I think that's it. And then I'll just return the string. So that's why this is not the same as this as public void, because this will not return anything, but this one is public string, so it should return a string with actually str is a string. So I have here now my class. And then let's try to use this class in our demo. Let's say person, let's say m1 equals new person. So in that case, I'm using the constructor with no parameters. So that would be this constructor. For the second one, so I can specify the last name. Let's say, for example, di magiba. Agapito. Hampas lupa. So let's say that's the last name, first name, and middle name. Okay. So now I can set the other values. So let's say m1 dot set last name never broke. M1 dot set first name never late. M1 dot set middle name strike land. Okay, so that's the first name, last name, and middle name. M1 dot set address Dagupan City. M1 dot set birth date January 20, 1980. M1 dot set height, so say 1.65, but this should be what in double. Am I right? M2 dot set weight 75.2. Oh, that's should be employee 1. So I have set the values for employee 1, or the fields for employee 1. Then I'll do the same thing with employee 2, but employee 2 already have last name, first name, and middle name. So I'll be just giving the address, birth date, and height and width of employee 2. So I just copy paste for us to save some time. 2, 2, 2, 2. Calasiao City, March 10, 1985. So 1.55, 55.2. So I have to now set the values. So how do I display? I can use M1 dot display, M2 dot display. So this will display the records of the information about M1 and M2. So let's try to run the program. So there is my output. So I have here never broke, never late, strike land. So actually this is just the English equivalent of this. So never broke, di magiba, never late, agapito, and strike land, hampas lupa. Address Dagupan City, birthday January 20. So I have here the height and the width. And the next record I have di magiba, agapito, hampas lupa, Calasiao City, March 10, etc., etc. Okay, so I have here now my output. Or let's say, for example, I want to use system.out.println, and then we're going to place here m1.get display string. So let's try that one. So it should again display employee 1. So employee 1, employee 2, and then next is again employee 1 but this one is using the get display str method. So let's go back to our class. So here we have our class person, we have our instance variables, then we have our constructors. We have two constructors here, so the same name but different parameters, so that means we have an overloading of constructor. Then we have get last name, set last name. So the last name of this parameter is assigned to the instance variable. First name, we just return the value of the, so the same, return the value of the instance variable. Here the parameter will change the value of the instance variable. So the same with last name, middle name, etc., and all of the other fields, except maybe for height, instead of string we use double. So get count is a static variable. Okay, so let's do that. So I just place here count plus plus. So every time I create a new person, I add one to my instance variable. Okay, so each time I create a new instance of the object, I add one to my count. So let's try that. I'll just remove this first. Number of employees. So I'll just place here. So instead of emp, I'm going to use the name of the class. So that get count, because it's a static variable. Okay, so if I run the program, so I have here now my output, and number of employees I have here 2, because I added 2 instance of the object, and my code says here that every time I create an instance of the object, I add 1 to the value of count. And then we have our get count method, but this is a static method. So instead of using the name of the object, we use the name of the class. So that's it for this demo, and thank you for listening and viewing.